going to share my desktop. So students, is it visible? My desktop is visible to everyone?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thanks for your response. So this is for the presentation. Let's we start our session. The course code allotted for you is UDIT 010. The course name is Ethical Hacking and Cyber Security. Then the today's topic we are going to discuss is Internet governance. That is the continuation of our yesterday's class. The agenda I planned are attendance, the start and end, introduction about myself, etiquettes to be followed, learning objectives and outcomes, recap of previous class, introduction about the topic, explanation about the topic, summarization, Q&A, and feedback if any. This is what the session I planned. The first one, attendance. I'm going to mark your presence. So students, please unmute your audio so that you are able to mark your presence. Answer attendance for Adarsh, Adarsh, Akash,
Sir,
Surya.
Akash present message இருக்கான் sir.
What for Akash?
Akash message chat box அனுப்பிருக்கான் பாரு.
Okay. Okay, fine. Jay Surya, Mageshwaran, Azhar,
Azhar present.
Shoaib,
Yes, sir.
Araman,
Sir, present, sir.
Karanraj,
Present, sir.
Mining Ranjit Kumar.
Present, sir. Present.
Okay. Pavendan,
Sir, Adarsh present.
Adarsh.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Pavendan, Antonio, Vishnu,
Yes, sir.
Ardra,
Present, sir.
Noel, Noel. Noel. Noel is there. Hari, Nitish Balaji,
Yes, sir.
Raghavendra, Sri Veeramani, Shubham,
Sir.
Yogeshwaran,
Yes, sir.
Shivaguru, Aniruddha,
Present, sir.
Krishna Kumar,
Present, sir.
Omkar,
Present, sir.
Petroleum Ranjit Kumar,
Present, sir.
Danuj,
Present, sir.
Yadudev,
Present, sir.
Astin,
Yes, sir.
Kamlesh,
Yes, sir.
Milan, Kamlesh present,
Yes, sir.
Milan, Suraj,
Yes, sir.
Pradeep,
Yes, sir.
Rohit, Sobit,
Yes, sir.
Vijay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, fine. Okay.
Sir, present.
One second. Pradeep?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay.
Present.
Pradeep present. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Thanks. Okay, fine. So we are moving to our agenda. So introduction about myself. This is Subramanian E. Belongs to Department of IT and totally having 12.5 years experience, and in AMET I'm having 3.5 years experience. This is what my introduction. Netiquettes we already discussed so far, so I'm going to skip that slide. Then learning objective and outcome. The objective of unit number 1 is to expose the awareness of cybersecurity issues and challenges in the IT environment. So after knowing this, what are the thing you are able to do is the outcome, that is to understand the fundamentals of network security, security architecture and threats. This is what. So next thing we are getting into our topic. Before that, we are going to see a small recap of our yesterday's session. That is what the thing. So students, am I audible to everyone? My voice is clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Am I
sir.
audible? Yeah. Thanks for your response. Yesterday we discussed about the new topic, that is internet governance. In short, it can be called as IG. So what is meant by internet governance means there are so many cloud space providers, ISP providers. So to regulate those organizations, we are having one judiciary that can be called as IG or uh, internet governance. So what is the main role of this IG means? They are going to regulate all the datas of the users. That is, user can only able to own his or her data, not the organizations. That is what the internet governance. For this internet governance, first we know about the digitization. So digitization, we are having three sort of layers. So we discussed the first two layers so far, and third layer yet to be on to discuss. That is the infrastructure layer we discussed. That is the provision of some sophisticated facilities to the users was called as infrastructure layer. Then second one is logical layer. In the sense, each and every organization has own his website. So for the naming of that website, provision of some numbers, in the sense IP address. The provision of the names, IP address is called as logical layer. Those things are taken care by the corporation or organization called as ICANN. That is what we discussed yesterday. So today we are going to discuss about the third layer, economic and societal layer. That is what. So can anyone tell the expansion for ICANN? Are you able to recap the yesterday's abbreviation, the full form? Anyone?
Sir, Internet Corporation for Assigned Names and Numbers.
Numbers. Yeah, exactly, exactly. Thank you for the response. Thanks, Ardra. So this is what the expansion. So now we are going to see the presentation. It is the continuation of the yesterday's session. The first two layers we already discussed. The third layer, economic and societal layer. So in that, what are the uh, what are the organizations or people comes under this digitization part, means they are called as the economic and societal layer. That is industries. That is what manufacturing and trade. Then entertainment, then education, then finance, healthcare, IT, news and media, public sectors, that is banks, then judiciary, civil and human rights. So nowadays there are no one has an exception into this digitization process, because the motto of our PM, Prime Minister, is being a part of digitization. In the older days, we don't see much recharge shops, that is mobile recharge shops, maybe DDH recharge shops, reservation centers. But nowadays, we are seeing everywhere. There is a mobile recharge shops, and then DDH recharge shops, then reservations centers also. So these are the part of the digitization. We can book our ticket, any ticket, maybe any transportation mode ticket from the one place or from the sitting place itself. From one place sitting, you can book the ticket, all the ticket, whatever necessary or whatever required to you, it can be done. That is what the digitization process. So none of the exception, everyone using the digitization process. Most of the shops, even the small petty shops too, nowadays having the Paytm and Google Pay. So these are the process of moving from the new age to the information age. That is what. So in the listed things, most probably each and every department taken part. So manufacturing and trade, industry peoples. So industry moving, nowadays industry moving to the next generation, that is automation. Maybe for the naval people, here there are so many departments get mixed up. Naval people are here, mining people are here, triple E peoples are here, petroleum peoples are here, mechanical peoples are here, then FPT too. So each and every department belongs to one industry. That industries are nowadays moving towards the automation. In the sense, without any man intervention, we are going to operate everything using the machine. That is what the automation process. For naval people, the invention, not invention, the end up process going on for the automation ship. Already China launched this automation ship. Now there are so many processes going on to launch the automation, the autonomous ship. So you want to design such ships in a way that you are going to adapt to the recent societal values. So likewise, there are each and every department going to contribute for the automation. Then one more thing listed in economic and societal layer, that is Internet of Things. That is, in short, we call that as IoT. What it means, from anywhere you can operate or you can control your data and your appliances. That is what the main purpose of using this IoT. From your office, you can operate your air conditioner, your refrigeration, even though your switches in your home with the help of this IoT sensors. That is what the IoT. So in future, we are everyone moving to the automation process. So automation process in the sense, in turn, it going to implies the data, merely a data. For example, I am telling in future in the sense nearly within 10 years, within next 10 years, upcoming 10 years, your refrigerator going to speak with you. That is, the vegetable you are kept with me going to be rotten. This particular vegetables going get rotten. within this 2 days or 1 day. Like that, your refrigerator going to speak with you. That is what the automation process. So how the refrigerator, the machine, not only the refrigerator, every machine going to speak with you. That is what the invention right now going on. It is there are 5 generations of computer. Maybe in the first year itself you studied, I guess. Have you remember the 5 generations? Anyone? Anyone? Pa? 5 generations of computer. Any idea? None. No one. So first generation we used vacuum tubes, then transistors, then IC, then microprocessor, and the last one is artificial intelligence. That is what the thing. So that is what the thing. So already we completed the 4 generations or 4 generations. Now we are in the 5th generation process. That is what the automation process. That is artificial intelligence. In turn, it going to be autonomous. It's going to develop autonomous systems and robots as well. That is what the thing. So how the machine going to speak with you means with the help of the data. That is, example I am telling, the refrigerator will have the data of each and every vegetables in how many days or how many with the help of how many particles they're going to be get rotten. That is what the data. So each and every data gets accumulated by the machine, and once the threshold reached, it's going to speak with you. This is going to be happen by today or by tomorrow, like that. So in future, everything comes with the data. That is what the big data. And then next we are moving for the machine learning, and then we are going for the next level, deep learning. That is what the hot cake in the IT industry right now. It is ML and DL. That is what after big data. So big data just now means before 2 years only it arrives. Now it is the outdated one, big data. The recent one is ML, machine learning and deep learning is the recent one. That is what the thing. So this Internet of Things, IoT, is going to be a part of big data, ML, and DL as well. It is what the thing. So this is what the economic and societal layer. Why I talked all those things means this all those datas, because the IG purpose of usage is they're going to monitor all the organizations, that is to prevent the theft of the user's data. The user only going to be own its data, own his or her data, not the organization. That is what the main motto of this IG. That is what I speak all those things. Then I'm moving to the next one. So definition of IG. Guys, I'm audible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So the definition, according to thanks. According to World Summit on the Information Society, it is WSIS. The definition for IG is the development and application by governments, private sector, and civil society in their respective roles of shared principles, norms, rules, decision-making procedures, and programs that shape the evaluation and use of internet. That is, internet governance is not only applicable for the organizations, in turn for the users, that is for us also as well. That is what according to the World Summit on the Information Society. Not only the government organization, private sectors, industry going to respond to the users' data or going for the prevention of users' data. As per the end user, as for the end user, we are also going to protect our data from stealing. That is what the IG definition given by WSIS. So we want to follow some protocols. So the protocols we already discussed. That is security service policies, security architecture. That is what we already discussed. Then the layers, the governance layers. So we previously discussed about digitization layers. Here it is IG layers. So IG layers, first one is telecom, that is telecommunication infrastructure. Then the second one is a technical standards. Then the third one, content and application standards. That is what the three things. So the first layer, telecommunication infrastructure, as same as we discussed in digitization. The same here only, infrastructure layer, the first layer. That is telecom infrastructure, whether the particular mobile network going to use the cable in the sense whether it is a fiber optic cable or coaxial cable. There are so many things. Then wireless. So whether they are providing any wireless fidelity, it is Wi-Fi infrastructure. That is what the telecommunication infrastructure. The second thing, technical standards. Technical standards in the sense the particular organization going to follow some standards. In the sense protocols. There are so many protocols. Some of the basic protocols yesterday I discussed. The HTTP, then FTP, then SMTP, then POP. There are one more thing, that is TCP IP also. That is transmission control protocol / internet protocol, TCP IP. And the one more protocol also there, that is called as the UDP. Okay, so there are so many protocols available. Some of the basic only I discussed yesterday with you. So what are the standards or what are the protocols the organization wants to follow? For example, there is one e-commerce website. Maybe it is Amazon or a Flipkart or a Snapdeal, Shoploose, anything maybe. So that e-commerce website going to sell one product to you. In the sense, there are so many policies listed. Have anyone got any product from any e-commerce website? Most of the people got, I guess. Anyone? Or anyone can tell? Students, can you able to follow my question or get my question?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So anyone got any product from any e-commerce websites? Just please be interactive.
Yes, sir.
So what are the standards you followed, or what are the standards they listed? Any idea
Like
for the purchase?
price, then like that money transaction, that details, something like that, cash on delivery, or you have to transfer through card or something like that.
Yeah, that is money. I mean, payment section you are telling. So the listed, some of the listed protocols are, you are going to view the product listed in the website. So you are going to click on the product. You are going to make an order. Once it is get finalized means you are going to place the order. So once it is placed, after that, we are moving to the next portion, that is the payment section. In the payment section, there are so many things listed. So some cases, if one person, one X, Y, Z person paid, already make a payment through the online gateway. Some cases that XY person, XYZ person, internet get disconnected or he or she faced the power failure. Then what is the next thing means that particular e-commerce website going to refund the amount which was been or which has been deducted from the XYZ person account. So that is also a part of the standard. So after I mean everything goes fine, goes smooth, means that particular XYZ person going to place the order, complete its payment, complete the payment section, then the particular product going is to arrive. So once it is arrived to the particular XYZ person hand, the person finds this is not the relevant product which I ordered. Recently also, maybe you heard that from the any social space, I guess. Amazon, from in the Amazon, one particular person ordered for a headset, but the person got the mobile phone. So this is what. So the particular person mails to the Amazon that I ordered this and this only, I got this and this one so product. So like that, they ordered. I mean, the particular person returned back the mobile phone. Okay, so there are some cases, or there are some of the case also. Some cases Amazon also sends a brick instead of providing the, instead of the order, mobile phone. So there are so many things happening in the e-commerce website. So the thing is, you are placing the order, you are completing your payment, then you are getting the product. So after getting the product also, if there is any changes in the picture listed in the website, or if there is any if there are any damages, then you are going to return back those products. So these all are comes under with the standards. So for each and every one, there is one standard. They are also going to follow one standard. If you want to return, what are all the procedures? What are all the what are the steps you want to do? There are so many standards they are also going to follow. So that those are all comes under technical standards. And the last one, content and applications. In the sense, so content application, the front end, whatever the users are seeing. That is the e-commerce website, you are seeing the listed product. So that listed products are all comes under this content and application standards. That is the programming languages. That is what the layers. So the IG going to act upon each and every layer, because each and every layer we are having or we are using our data. So for each and every layer, this IG going to be act. That is what. So this is the ARPANET features. That is very old internet. Before internet, we used this ARPANET. So it's for your just understanding purpose. So IG concepts in ARPANET. So ARPANET, we use some of the standards. Those standards are listed here. So there is not much thing. So I'm going to omit this. So yesterday I told about each and every website has its own IP address. In the sense numbers. We know only the google.com, but we are not sure with the IP address of google.com. The same way, we know facebook.com, but we don't know about the IP address. What are they using? Because the numbers are very tough to remember. The names are very easy to remember. That is what there are two categories: provision of names, provision of numbers. Both are under control of ICANN. But For the naming purpose, we are having one system called domain naming service. For the number, we are having the separate corporation called Internet Protocol. So those two corporations are comes under ICANN, and they people going to take care all those things. So most probably, if we are using internet, we are using only the assigned names. If we using the intranet in the sense within organization, within home, or within your street, your locality, then we are using only the assigned numbers rather than the assigned names. That is what the thing. So example, google.com has the IP address 132.14.55.42. So you want to add http colon double backslash then 132.14.55.42. Then pressing the enter means it will gives the Google search home page. Same thing for Facebook and same thing for Amazon. This is what the thing. But actually we are not following those things. Why it is because means it is very tough to remember all those numbers because intranet we are having only 2 or 3 pages to load. For example, in our Amat University, we are having the internal server for each and every department. For accounts department, we are having, and for COE, we are having the server. So more then academic purpose. So most probably there are 3 servers only gets maintained. So it is very easy to remember the IP addresses for those servers. But if we taken the same thing in the internet, there are so many URLs. It is websites. There are so many websites available. It is very tough to remember the numbers. For example, if anyone wants to visit facebook.com, he or she can easily type Facebook, FACEBOOK.com. Instead, the same person wants to remember 178.95.35.51. So it is very tough. If maybe instead of Facebook, FACEBOOK, if you type means it will display the facebook.com. But that was not same case under IP address. 178.95.35.51 is for Facebook. Instead, if you type 52, it will goes to the another web page. The Google cannot search it and give to you because 52 is allotted for another, just like our radio frequency. 98.3 is for one radio section. 98.4 is for another radio. Likewise, the same thing. So there was so much meshy comes into the picture while we are using this IP address. That is what we are using the assigned names. This is what I want to share. Then the transmission control protocol. So what is the difference between the thing? That is the previous one. Previous slide I told that there are TCP/IP and one more protocol UDP. That is user datagram protocol. That is what. So what is the difference between this transmission control protocol and user datagram protocol? Means loss. That is a data loss. Data loss in the sense there are 2 portions. I'm not going much deeper into that because it is a separate portion, a separate syllabus. So I don't want to go much deeper. So the data loss in the sense if you are transferring the data from one source to destination, if the data gets entirely without any loss, that is the usage of protocol of TCP. If you are facing some issues, that is you lost some data, then it is called as UDP, User Datagram Protocol. So whatever the thing right now we are using is comes under TCP. UDP comes under, sorry, the YouTube comes under UDP. In YouTube, there are, we can see that buffering. Buffering in the sense, after playing your video, there was one small white layer get increased before your play button. It is the bar. The bar, the played section or playing section marked as a red color layer. After the red color layer, there was one white color layer get increases inch by inch. That we call that as a buffering. Some cases, if you failed any, if you are facing any internet connectivity issues, you cannot go back and play the data, whatever you already played. That is what the user datagram protocol. That is, the user can face some issues in the entire, retrieving of the entire thing. That is what the first image. So the entire image goes like this only. So that is we can call this as a pixel. Pixel by pixel only it will go. So the entire pixel want to accumulate at that destination. So if there is a miss in any one of pixel may leads to the distortion of image. That is what that TCP. So these are all also comes into the IG, part of the IG. So the root system model. So these are the models the IG going to have. So operators, then operator going to give the change request for IANA and NTIA. They are having the signature verification and then their publication. What are this root system model means? The assigning of names and numbers to the particular organization. That is what the thing. Then ISP blocking and tiering cases. In the sense, internet ISP means internet service provider. So this internet service provider blocked some of the websites. For example, we are right now our government blocks so many websites and applications as well. The same thing, the ISP blocking comes under. Okay, so if the particular website consists of any vulnerable contents or threatening contents, then that particular IP address, that is assigned names and assigned numbers, gets blocked by this ISP. This ISP is part of the DNS. So first one ICANN, then it is DNS, then it is ISP. So this ISP going to make a monitoring section of the provided assigned names. So if any vulnerability is encountered, this ISP going to block all those things. For example, right now in Tamil Nadu, the main talk was going on the Tamil Torrents website. Okay, so Tamil Torrents in the sense, the famous, what are the names? The piracy, the cinema piracy websites. There are so many websites available. It is Tamil Rockers. So Tamil Rockers, Tamil Torrents. We are blocking. The government blocking so many websites of those particular peoples, but they are registering with different names and they are giving the updates too. So that is what the ISP blocking. Previously in 2004 example, it is listed in 2004 one Madison River blocked, 2006 AOL blocked, and 2007 BitTorrent gets blocked, 8 some pirate boy. Then 2009, the Swedish web traffic. 2010, the Italian ISP blocked Pirate Bay. So the Pirate Bay websites consist of the softwares, then games, and then the movies as well, audios and videos as well. The thing is, it's a piracy website, so the content get released before and after the release of the movie, audio, or the game as well. That is what the ISP blocking. Then next one, ISP traffic engineering. It means traffic discrimination is necessary as a routine part of network management. In the sense, we are regularly following our traffic rules while we are on road. The same thing also happening in the internet, because each and everyone accessing the same server. Maybe you can tell, or you can get the message, if you click on any particular website, the server was too busy. Maybe in Namat itself, if every student accessing the server on the release of your results, it will tell the server was too busy after some point of time, or the circle comes with a rotation for a particular point of time. Most probably in Namat University, I'm not sure whether you are facing or not, but in Anna University, so many students are facing the same issues, because the server was too busy. In the sense, there was a trafficking. In the sense, all the peoples get accessing the same website. If there is no particular policy for trafficking, then this traffic gets a much much deprivated thing to the user. That is what the thing. So traffic discrimination was a necessary part, because we want to have a discrimination for the each layer of the people: top level, middle level, lower level. That is what the thing. So another important portion of this IG are CERT, Computer Emergency Response Team. Guys, till now you are having any doubts? Shall I continue to this slide, CERT?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, fine. Thanks. Man. So CERT is a part of this IG, Internet Governance. The sense, it was first the word coined in 1988 by the CMU. The CERT and CSIRT, that is Computer Security Incident Response Team, are used interchangeably. At first, APCERT only established. After this only, the CERT comes into the picture. So, what are the portions here are internet service providers, that is ISP, then incident reporters, law enforcement agencies, software support vendors, customers, constituents, media, other incident response teams. So the CERT going to take care about all those things. ISP for providing much infrastructures, then law and enforcement if there is any cyber attacks, software and support vendors. Software in the sense, it can be an executable file or it can be application. Then also they are going to monitor the users, end user ourselves also. This is what the purpose of this using CERT. Then why bother? Why we want to bother about this internet governance or IG? So the first one is organizational rules. Each and every organization follows ISO, because nowadays we are using the product which consists of ISO only. Even though the helmet, if you are driving a scooter or bike, you must want to wear a helmet. So before buying the helmet, we are searching, we are getting the helmet with the ISO symbol or ISO affiliation. So each and every organization, it is not only for the helmet. We are also, as an educational university, Ahmad University also having the ISO audit. They are also following like this. Each and every department having this ISO. That is organizational rules. Then jurisdiction law. That is as per our day-to-day life laws. Then international law and treaty. So jurisdiction law differs from state to state, nation to nation, and country to country. So one country law cannot be applicable to another country. Maybe in the ships, if you are on board, you are traveling or you are crossing one border, there is some limitations for that country. If you want to enter, you want to clear some limitations, clear some procedures, and then only you can enter into the port of some other countries. So the jurisdiction law differs from nation to nation and country to country as well. It is what the third portion, international law. Then at last, internet governance. So the topmost at the topmost, the internet governance comes into the picture. So if all this particular section fails, then only IG comes into the picture. So who are all the part of IG means stakeholders, that is as the user, then technology, standard technology, architecture, policy, procedures, best practices, cooperation, coordination. Most probably, the IG going to monitor the stakeholders, standard, technology, and architecture. The first four only IG going to give much more concentration. That is what. So code is law. So law we are going to be applied. There is norm, market, architecture, and then law. So what are the standards? That is what the norm. What are the current trends going on the markets? So according to, we want to change our best practices. Then architecture. At the last, law. So each and everything following pointing to one direction. So the security attributes, the attributes we discussed earlier, confidentiality, integrity, availability. So here, what it is listed means, so under confidentiality, what are the things gets happen? Under integrity, what are things gets happen? And under availability. So under confidentiality, what are things going to be happen means phishing, then packet sniffing, then password attack. So I already told that confidentiality means if any person providing some information to you means you are supposed to keep that as a secret. So if you are revealing that, then the particular issues, the confidentiality issues comes into the picture. For example, uh, X person reveals the password, that is the username and password of his Gmail account to Y person. Means the Y person wants to keep it as a secret. But some cases, if Y person reveals the username password to Z, there is a possibility of attack. Maybe Y person itself uses the username and password of X, or Z person uses the password and username of X. So that is what the password attack. The second thing, packet sniffing. The same thing is also phishing. Packet sniffing. Packet sniffing, sending all the packets, sending all the packets from source to destination. Some of the packets gets removed by some TPA, third party. That is what the packet sniffing. Then this all issues happens under this confidentiality. In the integrity, what are things happen? So integrity means the information going to be a authentic one and a complete one. That is what I told. So here, what does thing means? MITM. MITM is the famous integrity issues. MITM in the sense man in the middle. Then IP spoofing. So man in the middle in the sense there is some intruder in between you and your partner. Partner in the sense source and destination. Within that, there is one middle person, just like a broker. So, what the broker going to do means he are going to get the information from you or from your partner. He or she going to manipulate the information, whatever you are sending. Then the particular person resending or rerouting to the destination or to the source. So the thing is you are going to get the misinterpreted information. That is what man in the middle will do, because integrity is the complete information and authentic information as well. For example, I am telling you are getting the message from Amat University ERP, right? Pa? You are getting the message from ERP section only of Amat for anything, maybe for your examination, for your attendance, everything you are getting the message from ERP. Am I right, Pa?
Yes, sir.
So you are getting the message from ERP like your college reopening is so and so date, like that. But if there is any MITM, means the reopening date of the college was September 1, example. The 1/9/2020, like that the ERP sending the message. But if there is any MITM, there is man in the middle, means that particular person can changes 019/2020 into 2021. So the information was not authentic, was not complete. It states that next year 2000, as a next year September 1 only your college gets reopened, like that. So he or she can do some sort of manipulations. That is what. Then availability. So availability in the sense the data can be availed for a prolonged period of time. That is, the security policies are all available for a prolonged period of time. That is what the concept of availability. Just like we are having government orders in the government website. That is what I told for availability. But here, DDoS, denial of service, direct denial of service. That is what DDoS. So, in the sense, if you are going to access any particular security policies or any procedures, it was not available under that particular organization. That is what DDoS. Example, I am telling the previous advertisement of any insurance policies or any investment plans, you can, if you notice, means at the last they are read out all the policies in a very speed manner. So we cannot understood, we cannot notice any points while they are reading. So nowadays the jurisdiction enters into the picture and insist, advised, given direction to that investment plan companies to speak about all the procedures. So nowadays they are not reading all those things. Instead, they are stating that before doing any investment plans, you are going to read all those documents. Like that, they are telling. So this is what the not, I mean, prevention of DDoS. If there are some rules stated but that was not available later to you, that is what the DDoS. So this is some sort of security issues comes under IG. So this I'm going to skip. This also I'm going to skip. only this one I want to share with you. There is IETF Technologies. What's the time now? 10:09. Okay. With this, I can stop. I will give a small recap and then we are going for your ending of the session, that is attendance. So today's session we see or we discussed about the continuation of last class, that is IG. Here we discussed the last layer, that is societal and economic layer. That is what we discussed. So each and every one part of this digitization process, that is what we discussed today. Then next one, the WSIS gave one definition for this IG, that is internet governance. It states that not only the government bodies, not only the private bodies, industries comes into the IG regime, also the user, end user. Stakeholders also they are taken part of this IG. That is what the definition given by those people. So after that, before internet, we are having some ARPANET concepts also. So what are the thing applied to the ARPANET concept? That's we seen. Then at last we discussed about the cyber security attributes issues. There are three attributes available. First one is the confidentiality, then integrity, and then availability. So in this confidentiality, we are facing the issues like phishing, packet sniffing, and password attack. Then in integrity, we are facing the main issues like MITM, man in the middle, and then availability, we are facing the major issues like DDoS, direct denial of service. These are the issues we have faced in the availability. So far, we discussed this only. So with this, I am concluding the session. So any doubts, students? Having any doubts? Or I'm going to move to the next, that is attendance portion. Any Q&A, any feedback?
No, sir.
No. Okay. Thanks for your response. I'm moving out for the attendance section. We'll stop the recording.